What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. I hope that today we can both go straight to the moon, baby. But today we're getting into Absolute Batman number 15. I guess for all intents and purposes, basically an origin, if you will, of this universe's Joker. The man who laughs but doesn't really laugh. Um, in this alternate reality, the Joker basically is just as capable as the main universe's Joker at being vicious, but this one is very much a planner, has built himself up a life similar to being on the status of Bruce Wayne, having money, having power, having influence. I think that's one of the biggest differences, but attractions to this book. That Batman has been mainly considered a street level superhero, but this has really stripped him down to being a middle class dude, you trying to find supplies and use weaponry based off of his skill, his knowledge, and what he can get his hands on, right? As opposed to Joker here in this particular universe, whatever he wants, he's able to get within at the time limit he wants it in, right? And it kind of used to be, we're used to that being Batman being able to, because of his money, his power, and stuff like that, to be able to create the solution in a quicker time, or have that the ability for those connections, whereas this Bruce doesn't have really those connections, you know what I mean? But Joker does, so to speak. And this is kind of some sort of a breather issue, okay? Because up until now, Bruce has faced off against the Black Mask. He's faced off against Mr. Freeze, Victor Freeze Jr., and now he's just got done with the Absolute Bane storyline. His friends have been broken. Wayland has been turned into Killer Croc. He's got new allies along the way, like Harley Quinn and Alfred. And here, Alfred kind of goes over the intelligence, intel, if you will, of this particular character, and that's what we're getting into today. Um, yeah, like I said, you'd figure after the Absolute Bane story, right? What crazy stories coming next? But they're giving us a little breather with this issue, and we have kind of a shiny cover here of the Joker. DC usually, and that's kind of the main cover of. That's right. This Joker isn't just a clown, a guy dressed as a clown or anything like that. He, um, there's something that is within himself. He's like basically. We'll get into this. He we see here, this is Jack, right? Our Joker, the Joker here in the Absolute Universe. And Alfred starts getting into his origins, or the information that they have of him. He started off really like not not like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but basically he's been his own, like, all right, for instance, this is Jack here. All right, this is our guy. This is the absolute Joker here, right? And Alfred is mentioning how we were able to trace back to his great grandfather, but really, he. All right, so let's start off here. All right, He is here obviously in the 1800s. He is using some sort of um, it seems like he's got some sort of not hallucinogenic effect on people, but kind of like I'd almost consider it like a pheromone power, right? Where you can kind of put people in an easy state of mind, and he would basically rob them, these rich people of Gotham, right, in other areas and stuff like that. And this was supposed to be our current Joker great grandfather, right? There seems to be a family line there. And Jack Jr., right? That was Jack, the one that would put people in a trance and rob them on the streets. And Jack Jr. Appeared to get his foot into Hollywood and kind of really begin to uh, make the empire that they're building a bit better, a bit stronger. It seems like with each iteration of himself, he's building his power base, so to speak, his wealth and his influence. Uh, First with street performing, right, and then now with television, where he can reach so many more people, so many more houses to influence for his own benefits, right, and his own ways. We see him in current time now. And current these panels are representing the current time, right? And what he does in between, like his own time, right, so to speak. Now, as time goes on, we see him again influencing people around him as he's the street performer. But here, when World War II started coming along, him, like many other people in charge, this was now, as the generations keep going, and he keeps just being the same person without other people realizing it. Again, he's just collecting a power base of money, properties, power, political influence, right? And he was one of the few, like how many powerful people do. During World War II, he both served the Allies that were against the Nazi Empire, and he was serving the Nazi Empire. So imagine like being a bartender where you allow all enemies to hang out at as long as they don't try to hurt each other inside the bar, right? So that's kind of, so we can kind of see the progression of his influence and his hunger for power or reach, because you being a street performer and pickpocketing people is one thing. You're trying to influence people through television and stuff like that. I think most people these days know that, you know what I mean? But to work with people like the Nazi Empire at the time, really, really wild to consider, you know what I mean? Again, we catch up with him currently now on this island, and it seems like what he does is on this island is basically hunt people and take them out, because apparently that this guy here was a former associate of our version of the Joker, right? And he was left here on this island, and he came back, and the guy is just like, how are you still looking the same? And then really realizing he caught himself like this is probably his last day. So not only were you abandoned, this is how far this Joker goes. He abandoned one of his enemies on an island, left him there for decades, came back to hunt him and take him out. Diabolical, bro. Diabolical. And of course, Alfred touches on, um, for some reason, his need to acquire children, and not for uh, not for uh, well, I'm not. I was going to say not for nefarious purposes, but yeah, it's still a nefarious purpose. But what they've been able to discover, and this is why they're building the Ark buildings, like Ark A, Ark B, Ark M, Arkham Asylum. Uh, Babies are being used to somehow, in some sort of process, rejuvenate himself, and basically turns him into this Joker-esque character. All right. It's some sort of that's that's crazy, bro. And this seems to be where he's at his most happiest. I guess and then he does the whole ha 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 and gets the guy that he left there. So basically, Bruce tells Alfred, "All right, I've heard enough of this guy and kind of getting the gist of everything." And then Mr. Joker Man, Mr. Joker, Mr. J, winds up going home, and it looks like, to be honest with you, my initial thought was this looks like Wayne Manor. So I wonder if Joker is actually living in Wayne Manor in Gotham. And this kind of makes me feel more like he is because of hitting the clock and then going down to the caves here. Makes me feel like he is in Wayne Manor. I like that in this particular series and in this issue, the life that Bruce was living is now being lived by the Joker, and he has maintained his riches and power through nefarious means and some really dark stuff. And Joker is the one that lives in Wayne Manor, so to speak, whereas Bruce may not be the orphan he once was in the main universe. However, he's not rich like he was in the main universe. He may still have his mom, and to him, that may be a good trade off. But the millions and billions of dollars that Wayne Enterprises would bring in helped Batman a lot with getting computer programs to detect crime or to get a technology that can help you fight people better. Where Bruce has to rely on his brute strength, the training that he's gotten, and now with the venom in his body that he's got to learn to keep under check. We'll see if that eventually burns out in his body. Here, it was very interesting to get a gist of who the Joker is and how he started out, and ultimately, what is his end goal to this whole thing. The main universe Joker, his main goal is to just create anarchy and watch people fall from the heights of good and righteousness down to his level. That's what that version of Joker wants. Ultimately, what does this version of the Joker want? Is it full power? Is it to just keep living his life and just accumulating power and wealth? Like, what is the ultimate end game for this Joker? We will find out in time. I want to thank all of you for stopping by. What did you think of this Joker origin, if you will? That he's basically an everlasting person. Maybe there's some sort of connection supernaturally to him, obviously, that allows him to live as long as he keeps doing these procedures, these rituals, if you will. And is there a way to disconnect that? Him from that supernatural part of what helps him live in you know, while in Joker state, or whatever you want to call it. Give me your ideas down below, and until next time, peace.